Well, howdy there, partner. So what's up? So I'm making this video because I just found out some news that I think is really kind of funny. Also, I kind of wanted to show off my dress and my cowboy hat. Hello, hello, how you doing? Good afternoon. I got cowboy boots on as well. Yes, that is a tattoo. That ain't very Christian of me, I know, but we're fine. Anyway, I have this article that I found. So apparently, today's the 8th, apparently yesterday, there was a press release where Attorney General Ken Paxton, if you don't know who that is, he's the Attorney General of Texas, he launched undercover operations to infiltrate and uproot leftist terrorist cells in Texas after increased political violence. Now, we're gonna go read the whole darn thing, but you just gotta give me a second, because before I even go through the article, I want you to see what I'm picturing whenever I hear infiltrate leftist terror cells in Texas after the increased violence. So picture this for me. You're a state trooper. You just finished school. You throw on the rank of sergeant. You're walking to the office. This is like what, your second week? And you're sitting there. As soon as you walk in, your boss comes up to you and he goes,
Well, you'll find in a second that this guy acted like a McNut. So this McNut didn't get his McNuggets.
put on some thigh highs, go infiltrate a transgender Discord. And you're thinking, well, what the fuck? What is a transgender Discord? Oh my gosh, it's just such a waste of time and money. This man is probably gonna get into some weird ass chat room where he's thinking that he's uprooting potential leftist violence, which doesn't actually happen all that often as compared to right-wing violence. And he's gonna run into the wrong trans person, and that trans person is gonna be like,
What the fuck?
"Ooh, I wish I had a big white monster." That man's gonna fold. That man's gonna fold so hard, especially if he's a Republican. And I mean fold as in either he's out or he's in this mission. He's about to not be undercover. He's about to be in that leftist terror cell. Getting flashbanged by a freaking Discord message. So anyway, this is the actual press release from Ken Paxton's office. And we're going to read it right now. In response to the political assassination of national hero Charlie Kirk and the disturbing rise of leftist violence across the country, Attorney General Ken Paxton has launched undercover investigations into various groups affiliated with left-wing political violence, known to be operating in Texas. All that means is that they can label anybody leftist and they're going to try to disrupt your way of life or terrorize you. That's all that means. A direct quote, leftist political terrorism is clear and a present danger. Corrupted ideologies like transgenderism, damn transgenders, and Antifa are a cancer on our culture and have unleashed their deranged and drugged up foot soldiers on the American people, said Attorney General Ken Paxton. The martyrdom of Charlie Kirk marks a turning point in America. There can be no compromise with those who want us dead. Nobody wants you dead. To that end, I have directed my office to continue its efforts to identify, investigate, and infiltrate these leftist terrorists. So, I'm telling you, there is some unlucky Sergeant State Trooper somewhere being told to infiltrate a trans Discord, and he's about to be flashbanged. That's all that's gonna happen here. To those demented souls who seek to kill, steal, and destroy our country, know this: you cannot hide, you cannot escape, and justice is coming. Look, the call is coming from inside the house. The people who want to kill, steal, and destroy the country are Republicans. They wouldn't be doing it if they didn't control all three branches of the government. I mean, the government's literally shut down as of making this video, and so they're the only ones doing all that. The radical left has incubated an environment where political violence is not only justified, but celebrated and praised. Look, a lot of people on the right got really upset when they couldn't force people on the left, or just like centrists in general, to care about a man who helped create the environment that led to his death. And it's not about, like, it's not even just like the attack on people's rights and stuff like that. Just look at like his staunch support for the Second Amendment, which is fine. Everyone should arm themselves. However, he made an environment where he said political violence is necessary to keep the Second Amendment. It's not celebrating to recognize that this man kind of did it to himself. In July, nearly 24 armed leftists connected with various Texas-based Antifa-like groups ambushed an immigration center. That actually did happen. In Alvarado, Texas, a leftist assassin connected to the radical transgender movement murdered Charlie Kirk because of the bold statement support for truth. That's not true. We actually don't know if the assassin was a leftist, first of all. All evidence points to no. I mean, him and his family were all MAGA. And then also, it's not actually confirmed if their partner was transgender. And if they were transgender, they did everything correctly, cooperating with the police and such. If I was in that situation and I was that person, I wouldn't have admitted it to the police that I was trans. I would have just been like, no way. But you know, we're here now. Because of Charlie Kirk's bold support for the truth, love of country, and unshakable faith, 2 weeks later, another deranged leftist opened fire at an ICE facility in Dallas. Well, not being a deranged leftist, is probably another person that opened fire on ICE. This is the thing, is that like people on the right are just going to start being terrorized by ICE, and they're going to lose their personal privacy. And then, you know, a right-wing person's going to get harassed. The police or ICE is going to harass the wrong right-wing person, and they're just gonna die and be like, the right winger is gonna be labeled a leftist. This can happen to anybody. The president has officially designated Antifa as domestic terrorism, instructed his administration to utilize all applicable authorities to investigate, disrupt, and dismantle any and all illegal operations, especially those involving terrorist actions conducted by Antifa. Building on the president's bold actions, Attorney General Jen Paxton has instructed his office to initiate sweeping investigations into leftist organizations engaged in providing support to those performing political violence. So let me get this straight. You got people who you can accuse of being a leftist. You can accuse anyone of being a leftist, and you go ahead and do everything you can to disrupt their lives. If you think about it this way, again, you got those people that are just like living their daily life, trans people who are hurting absolutely no one, and then out of nowhere, they're just labeled a terrorist for no reason. I mean, this started from the top, but also I'm not surprised that Attorney General Paxton jumped on it as soon as he could to terrorize trans people. Not in the slightest am I surprised. But yeah, I think this is just too funny, which is why I wanted to bring it to your attention, because there is some poor sergeant right now browsing through the trans Reddits, browsing through 4chan, and browsing through trans side of Instagram and TikTok looking for leftist ideologies in Texas. There ain't no way, that man's gonna be terminally online and unfamiliar with a lot of the things he's about to hear, but oh my gosh, is he about to get flashbanged by some freaking trans girlies? Probably gonna ask for that. You know, it's crazy. You should be pissed because this is just a waste of time and money. This is just a waste of your time. This is a waste of your money. Because if you think about it, every minute that the state police of Texas are going after transgenderism could be a minute where state police are responding to an emergency, responding to a medical emergency, a crime, a fire. Could be state police responding to something that actually matters, as opposed to playing on Discord and thigh highs with a white monster. Oh, it's just too funny. It's just too funny. Anyway, I just want to talk about this because I thought it was way too much to actually just let go. So thank you so much. Have a good one. Oh, and you probably noticed that I don't speak a lot about politics, and there's a reason behind that because I recently got diagnosed with mild PTSD, um, and I don't appreciate death or rape threats. So I don't speak about politics a lot, and don't expect me to speak about politics a lot because I'm not trying to catch those anymore. I take those way too seriously and way too much to heart because it's scary. It's a scary world out there, getting death and rape threats from right-wing people. So that's why I don't speak about politics a lot.